In today's video, I have a makeup tutorial for you. It's a look that I'm going to wear to a wedding I will be attending this weekend as a guest. Well, hey friends, it's Dawn. Welcome back to another video. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. If you are new here, my name is Dawn. I am an independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And on this channel, I love to bring our catalog to life by showing you all of the different Mary Kay products. One of the things I love to do on this channel is to do makeup tutorials, so that is what I have for you today. My cousin is getting married this weekend, and I'm really excited to be headed out of town and attending that wedding. And so I started thinking, in addition to what I'm going to be wearing, what dress and what shoes and what jewelry, I started thinking about what makeup I'm going to wear. So it's an evening wedding, it's outside, and those are things that are going to factor into the makeup that I choose. I want to have something that's lightweight. I want to have something that for my combination of oily skin, that I want to be able to control any shine that I have going on. And because it is an evening wedding, I want to make sure that the makeup is appropriate for the time of day, but also for my dress. So I'm really excited to show you this look, and I'm going to give you a couple little tweaks that you could do if you had a daytime wedding to attend. All right, so let's get started. I washed my face about 5 to 10 minutes ago, and I applied my eye cream and my moisturizer. And before I put any makeup on my face, I'm gonna use these beauty blotters. So I did a video about this, gosh, it's been a couple of years now, but if you are like me and you have combination to oily skin, these beauty blotters are amazing. They're gonna soak up the excess oil. So before I even put any makeup on, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure to get any excess oil off of my skin, because by now, 5 to 10 minutes later, my skin has absorbed all of the moisture from my moisturizer that it needs. So I'm just gonna simply press this into my skin, and I'm probably not gonna have much oil. Nope, my skin is using up, most of the moisturizer. I do have a formula for combination to oily skin. So again, just if there's any excess moisture on my face, these beauty blotters, you can see right there that oil is getting soaked up, and that way it's not going to break down the makeup, because that's what breaks down your makeup is the oil from your skin coming through to the surface, and as it does that, it's going to break up that makeup. So you can see I actually have a lot here. Right there. So I actually am going to grab another beauty blotter to make sure that I can get everything. So again, if you have combination of oily skin, this is a great option, especially in these summer months. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be outside, and it is July, so my skin is probably going to get hot and a little bit oily. So I have soaked up all the excess oil from my skin. You can see right there. So now I'm gonna start to come in with the makeup. The first thing I'm gonna use is my under eye corrector, and I'm just gonna apply that obviously under my eye area right here. So I don't have bad dark circles, but get a little bit of shadow right through here. So I'm gonna let that just sit on the skin for a moment, and then I'm gonna blend that in. And my brush is starting to fall apart. It's really, really old, and the outside is starting to come off. So the brush works great, but it's dirty. I have not had time to wash it. So if you're wondering what is going on with my brush, number one, it's dirty. And number two, the outside is chipping off. So there's nothing wrong with the actual brush itself. It just looks funny. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this in with this brush. And my nose is red because I've been going to the pool every weekend, and no matter how much sunscreen I put on, my nose always gets red in the summertime. So I'm going to use the CC cream next, and the CC cream, you know, it helps with redness, so that's going to help to tone that down. But speaking of CC cream, that's what I'm going to use as foundation because I like how lightweight the CC cream is in the summertime. Obviously, you could use whatever foundation is your preference, but for me personally, I don't want anything really heavy on my skin. I want something super light, so I'm going to come in with the CC cream. Now, normally I've been using the very light CC cream, but I have gotten a little bit of sun. I've been, again, at the pool pretty much every weekend. So I am going with a light to medium CC cream. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And I'm going to use the Mary Kay liquid foundation brush to blend this in. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more on my nose. It's still a little bit red for my liking. So I have the Perfecting Concealer in Deep Ivory, and I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of that right here in the corner of my eye to brighten up. And oops, got some on my nose. That's okay, I was going to put some on my nose anyway. I was just going to put a little bit of this on my nose, just down the center, and then I'm also going to put a little bit just kind of down the center of my face, sort of like as a highlight. And then I'm also going to put a little bit right here on the outside corner of my eye, kind of in an upward motion. So that's going to help to lift the face. So I'm going to blend this in, and I'm going to start with the cream color brush, which I used for the under eye corrector. And I'm going to start to blend right around the eyes. Again, right here, it's going to do a lifted effect right on the outside corner. And then for the center of my face, I'm going to use the liquid foundation brush. So I'm just going to start to blend this in here. And then I'm going to use my finger to continue the blending. So the warmth of your finger is going to help with that blending, especially around the eye area. Next, I'm going to come in with the Mary Kay translucent loose powder. The reason that I'm going to use this translucent loose powder is I want to help control excess oil on my face. Again, combination of oily skin. My skin does get oily more so in the summer, and so I want to make sure that I'm able to control oil throughout the evening. And so I'm going to put a light layer of this on the spots on my face where I get a little bit oily. So mostly my T-zone is where I'm going to apply this. I'm going to go ahead and shake a little bit of this out into the cap and get that applied. Next, I'm going to start to frame my face by doing my brows. So I have the Mary Kay Eyeliner eyebrow brush, and I'm going to go ahead and press up the brows here with the spoolie. Just combing them up, just brushing them in the direction that they naturally go. And then I'm going to come in with my Precision Brow Liner in Dark Brunette, and I'm going to start to fill them in. Next, I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So I'm going to start with the Mary Kay Eye Primer, and I'm going to apply a little bit of that to both lids. Let me show you the palette I have chosen for my eyes. I have 3 colors here. I have Biscotti, Hazelnut, and I have Merlot, and I love these colors. So I'm gonna start with the Hazelnut. Using my big blending brush here, I'm gonna go ahead and begin placing this Hazelnut right here in the crease and a little bit above, just using that back and forth motion with this big fluffy brush. To start to define that crease. So you can see the difference here from one eye to the next. Next, I'm going to use the Mary Kay All Over Eye Color brush, and I'm going to pick up this Biscotti, and I'm going to start to place some under the brow bone, just right here as a highlight. It's a nice matte shade. And then I'm also going to place it on the inner corner. So all 3 of these shades I have chosen for this look are matte shades. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this right on the center of the lid as well. And just bring it toward the inner corner. So kind of that inner half of the eye. Next up is Merlot. So what I want to do with Merlot is I want to put it in a V shape on the outside, half of the eyelid. So again, I did the Biscotti on the inner half, and I want to go ahead and put this Merlot on the outside half, and I'm going to use that V shape. So just placing it. I'm using the eye crease brush here. Now I have to go above the crease so you'll be able to see it when I open my eye, just like that. And then bring it down. I have used this method for so many years. I mean, I've been teaching this to my customers for years and years and years, but I love it. I feel like it's such a classic look, and that's really what I'm going for here. So let me go ahead and place the color on the other eye, and then I'm gonna go ahead and blend them both out. So obviously it looks crazy before I blend it, but that's why we blend. So let me go ahead and grab my blending brush and get to work. I'm actually going to use this blending brush, which is it was just a limited edition eye blender that was from Christmas a couple years ago. So it's clean, and that's what I want to use. I want to use a clean brush that has no color on it. So it just blends without adding any more depth or any more shades to the eye. So just using that circular motion and a little bit of back and forth as well to blend this out without losing the shape. Now, if you were attending a daytime wedding and you didn't want you know, a dramatic color. I'm not saying this is like super dramatic because we're blending it, but you know, this color is a little bit darker. So if you wanted something a little bit lighter, you could always go with, you know, a lighter shade, maybe the Sunlit Rose or something like that. If you were doing kind of a daytime wedding and wanted a lighter eye. Or you could just stop with the Hazelnut and Biscotti and have a very neutral eye. So see how much that blended out, just like that. So let me blend the other eye. So next I'm going to come back in with my concealer brush, and I just want to clean up a little bit right here on the outside. Just make sure that the color hasn't come down too far. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup, just lifting. You can also use the liquid foundation brush, either one. Next, I'm going to use some eyeliner. So I have the Mary Kay eyeliner in deep brown, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do my waterline. So I'm going to be coming underneath of the lash and doing that. And then I'm going to do just a little bit also on the outer corner here at the top. So let me go ahead and do my waterline real quick. Okay, so I have it on my waterline, and so I'm just going to take a little tiny bit right here on the outside corner. And then on the other side. And I'm going to use the smudger brush just to smudge it out a tiny bit. So just a little depth again on the outside corner of the eye. And I want to just kind of lift on the corner here. Just like that. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of shadow underneath of the lash line here. And so you could do one of two things. You could just do the Hazelnut underneath, or you could do the Merlot, depending on how dramatic you want it to look. I'm going to use a little bit of the Merlot. So just also using that smudger brush, I'm just going to bring a little bit of the Merlot underneath of the lash line. And then what I want to do is I want to kind of connect it to this outside corner here, where we just lifted up that liner. Just like that. And one more time, I just want to do a little bit of cleanup on the outside corner. Again, just want to make sure everything is lifting up and I don't have any product coming down here. So this is the reason I like to do my eyes first and before I put any powder on or anything, and then I have to keep disturbing it. So the eyes are done for now. We still have to come back with mascara, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of contour. So I have this contour in Latte, and I'm going to contour a little bit underneath of the jawline, underneath of the cheekbone, and a little bit along the forehead. So let me grab my Silky setting powder. And I am still using light medium ivory. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and I'm not gonna put on a ton of this because I don't want it to look cakey or anything like that. I mean, not that the powder looks cakey, but you know, if you put on too much, you can potentially make it look cakey. So I just want to do a nice light layer. So I am using my big fluffy all over powder brush, and I'm just gonna put that on to set the makeup, set the CC cream. So what I do though is I try to avoid areas of my face that it could possibly cake, and that would be like around my eyes, especially where I could get, I don't want any powder in those fine lines and wrinkles. So I try to put the powder on kind of the center of my face like I did earlier with that translucent powder. And then when there's almost nothing left on my brush, then I'll come in underneath of my eyes. So I just don't want to go right to the under eye area when I have a lot of product on my brush, because I don't want it to cake up in that area. Now that that's set, I'm going to come in and finish my cheeks. So still using my cheek brush, I have on the Rosy Nude blush, or I'm going to have on in a minute because I'm going to put on the Rosy Nude blush. And you guys know this is my favorite shade of blush. I wear it every day. So that's going right along the cheekbone. And then I'm going to use the highlighter in Glazed here. So using that cheek brush, I'm going to put a little bit right along the top of the cheekbone, being careful not to get too close to my eye so I don't have any highlighter getting into those crow's feet. I also am going to come down a little bit down the center of my face just to highlight. Same place I put that extra concealer earlier. Next, I'm going to use the Volumizing Brow Tint in Dark Brunette to finish off my brows. So this just gives it a little bit more definition. It's going to make it, again, it's going to make the brows look more full. I'm trying to think of the word. It's going to give more volume and look more full here. Just like that. It's very subtle, but it makes a big difference. I have decided to go with the Ultimate Mascara for this look. You could use any mascara, whatever your favorite is. I love them all, but I'm going to go ahead with the Ultimate. So I like the Ultimate because it's going to give me a lot of volume, but it is water resistant. So if I start to sweat or if I start to cry, it's not going to run. It's also a great mascara if you like one coat coverage. Guys, this is one coat. This is amazing mascara. This is one of my best sellers with my customers. I think this and maybe the Lash Love are tied, but this is definitely a fan favorite. So one coat and I am done. So I kept going back and forth on my lips. I was like, I can't decide if I want to do something kind of nude and neutral or if I want to do something, you know, a little bit darker. And so I decided, because it is an evening wedding, I wanted to do a little bit of a berry color on my lips. And so an option, again, I think if it was a daytime wedding, if it was earlier in the day, I would probably go with rosewood, because rosewood would be gorgeous with this look. But I decided that I want, again, a berry on my lip. I want something a little bit darker, but I am going to actually use a nude lip liner because If this wears off, like while I'm eating and drinking, I don't want a dark berry lip liner on my lips. So you have two options when you do lip liner. You can either match the lipstick or you can match the color of your lips. So this nude, it's the medium nude, I think it is, medium nude, is gonna pretty much match my lip color. It's a little bit darker, but not too much. And I'm gonna fill it in just a little bit, just like that. So I know a lot of people ask about the lipsticks. The lipsticks for me, with Mary Kay lipsticks, I have always said, and this has always been true for me, the lipsticks last on me unless I'm eating or drinking. And then that's typically when, you know, they end up coming off. So, you know, if I'm having a little sip of something, it's not going to come off. But, you know, during a meal or something like that, it's probably going to end up, I'm going to need to reapply. So, but other than that, if I'm just like, you know, just hanging out during the day and, you know, just working or just, you know, spending time with people, it's typically not coming off. It's for me, the eating or drinking that's going to take it off. So, again, if I am going to be eating and drinking at the reception, you know, I'm likely to have some of the lipstick come off. So I will take the tube in my purse. But in the meantime, if it does wear off a little bit, I don't want a dark, you know, berry lip liner and no lipstick. So I like this idea to do a nude lip liner. And then the lipstick that I am going to use, I am actually going to use the Ruby lipstick that we had back at Christmas. It's that one that has like these sparkles in it. If you can see, my camera does not want to focus, but it has these like sparkles in it. And obviously, this is not available anymore because it was a limited edition, but I thought this would be great for a special occasion. So if you don't have it, any of the berry lipsticks would be great. So again, if you want to go a little bit darker with your lipstick, I would go with a berry. If you want to go with something neutral, I would go with rosewood. I like a lipstick versus a lip gloss in this instance. There's a couple reasons. Number one, for me, it's an outside wedding. And even though my hair is not super long, if I don't like to wear lip glosses if I'm outside and my lips, you know, my hair might get on my lips. The other thing is I don't think the lip glosses do last as long. So the lipsticks do last longer on the lips. So I like that. And I just think that lipsticks look a little bit more formal and a little bit more dressy. So I personally like a lipstick for an event like this where I'm getting dressed up. But if you like lip glosses, go for it. You know, as always, whenever I do makeup looks, I always tell you, you know, customize it, whatever works for you. But for me, I love a lipstick with this look, and I really do like this lipstick. All right, so the look is done, and the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray it with my finishing spray. So I want to make sure that this look lasts all night, and I want to make sure that, you know, I don't have to touch anything up except for my lipstick. So my finishing spray, I'm just going to spray an X and then a T, and it's going to set my makeup all night. So it just feels like water when you spray it on. And I love this. I use this every single day to set my makeup. Now, the last thing that I wanted to tell you is I am going to take my little beauty blotters in my purse. So I'll have a little clutch, and I'm going to stick my lipstick in there, and then I'm going to take these beauty blotters, because if for some reason I do start to, you know, feel a little bit oily or something like that, then this is going to help to remove that excess oil without disturbing the makeup. So that's the really awesome thing about these beauty blotters is, again, you get a little bit shiny. You know, I go in, let's say between the ceremony and the reception, I go into the, you know, restroom and I look and I'm a little bit shiny. All I got to do is grab one of these out of my purse and blot, and it's going to soak up that excess oil without disturbing my makeup. So that is the look, and I really, really like it. So I'm very excited to wear this look this weekend. So tell me what you think below, and tell me how you would do it differently. So that is it for this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, friends. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out these other videos.